Hello everyone, my name is Cole Eckleberry, and today I'll be demoing for you a simple application that I've recently created using a Node.js backend with a React frontend. The React frontend has a number of different components in it that I'll walk through throughout the demo, and the backend API is rather simplistic. This is really more of a showcase of my ability to combine both a React frontend with a Node.js backend with a simple job listing application. This job application will have a company's route, a details of that company's route, a job list route, as well as a number of other features like editing your profile. This application is also protected. It has private routes throughout that are only accessible to logged in and registered users that are able to then log in and access those said routes. So I'm going to go ahead and perform a simple sign up task here. One moment, please. I'll go ahead and use Ringo Starr as my username, input my password, and as you can see, it's a password input. We'll go ahead and do a first name and a last name here as well. And there is actually some validation on this form as well. If I just try to type in something that obviously is not an email address, we're going to get some inline validation here letting us know that we do in fact need to supply an actual email address. So let's go ahead and drop Ringo's actual email in there. Go ahead and click submit. One moment. I am just waiting for the backend is actually hosted on Heroku. So yeah, there it goes. Sometimes it needs that quick spin up because I just have the free account. So I'm not going to add this to my passwords as this is just a test account. But as you can see, after login, it brings us directly to the company's page. I also have basically a navigation bar up here that includes a logout button, a profile, shows you the job list as well as the companies, which I talked about before. So I'll go ahead and show you the homepage. As you can see, it actually shows us the username and it changes the header a little bit compared to when you're signed out. So we'll go back and show that here at some point. But I just want to show you that it is dynamically putting in your profile name in here. So let's go ahead and view the company's page here. So as you can see, these are all individual cards that are populating. You have logos for each of these companies as well that are populated if they are indeed accessible. Some of them don't have logos at all, and yes, some of them do share it. It's just a sample box of logos that I had as an images file. So the cool part is that all of these are links, and they'll actually take you into a company profile, and this will show you all the jobs that are listed for that company. You can see up here that we are doing client-side routing throughout this entire application. You will actually not see the page refresh unless there's some sort of form submission. But in general, this is all a client-side routed application. I'm just using the React Client Router DOM plugin, or library, I should say. And yeah, in general, it's very snappy. It's very quick. Obviously, that sign up portion was the only one that directly hits the backend at first, but the rest of these, it populates very quickly. And we can go ahead and go back to jobs here. And like I said, it's also the website in general is very responsive. As you can see, it'll go ahead and reshape your cards and drop it down as you move in and out. So overall, it's really honestly a very snappy application, even though obviously this isn't a super in-depth application overall. So let's go ahead and take a look at the jobs page as well. And as you can see, I'm using a similar card style throughout. I thought it looked, pretty simple, but there's also a search portion at both the companies and the jobs route. So I can go ahead and type in AE and hit search, and it's going to find any job that contains AE as a search. So hematologist, aeronautical engineer. So yeah, you can do search throughout, and then you can get rid of that, and it'll go back to normal. So it is dynamic as soon as you press search, and once again, you're not even seeing anything refresh on the page. This is all done on the client side of the application. So let's go ahead and take a look at our profile viewer as well. Very simplistic styling, obviously, throughout this application. Nothing too fancy necessary for a job list, copy. So basically, it'll list your username here, your first name, last name, your email, basically everything you put in your sign up. And then if you want to change any of that, you need to put in your correct password and save your changes. So we'll go ahead and look at one of the other main features of the Jobly application, which is I'll go in here. Let's go back and we'll scroll down here. Let's see here. Let's find something from that. Anderson. Yeah, there we go. Art gallery manager, Anderson Arias and Moro. And these are all dynamically processed through React. I'm using props to pass down some of this information. I'm pulling some of this information from the database. But overall, they're very broken up pieces. You're very modular pieces that you can reuse for other portions of this app if I eventually wanted to expand it, which is extremely handy. But obviously, there's no salary for this person. But I'm feeling nice today. I think I'm really good at being an art gallery manager. So let's just go ahead and hit apply. As you can see, after I hit apply, there's still no page refresh, but now, thankfully, it shows a disabled button. I can no longer click it. I can't unapply. It's not one of the features of this application. Once you apply for life. So basically, I've hit applied, and that changes, but we can actually go to that company that had that job list, and look at that. It shows I've already applied here. So that's kind of the beauty of this is React is honestly just really flexible with the way that you pass around information between these different cars, between these different routes. I am using a use context API to basically keep track of the session overall for the user that's logged in. We're also using a JSON web token that we are storing locally on the client machine. So basically, if I closed this, I'm not going to right now for the demo purpose, but if you close this web page and you open up your browser again and you pull that back up, as long as you have your JSON web token in local storage, you'll be able to log in again extremely quickly. So it does keep track of things like that. And you actually can't access any of these routes while you're logged out, which I'll show you here in a second. But yeah, the jobs, companies, and profile routes, the only one that is available is the homepage route, which is different because it'll show you the login and the sign up buttons there when you are not logged in as a user. And that'll be the final thing that I show you here. So I'm going to go ahead and log out and look at that. It takes you back to the Jobly homepage where it asks you if you want to log in or sign up. And I can show you, I can no longer go to the company's page. It'll ask you to go to login, as that is the default redirect, which is yet another thing that I'm using throughout the application. But yeah, it is protected via private routes, which are set up in a routes file. And once again, this is all client-side routing. So I just wanted to thank you for taking the time to watch this demo today, and thanks again.